So let's talk about this karmic sibling of yours. Okay? Now, this karmic sibling, they have done so many things over the course of your childhood to create so much havoc in your life. Like, they were constantly disturbing your peace, constantly picking at you, picking on you, mocking you, making fun of you, you know, just treating you with such disdain and disrespect, and just treating you with so much contempt. They had so much contempt for you. And this sibling was like this since birth, since your birth. Okay? Or for some of you, if this is a sibling that is younger than you, then for as long as you can remember, this sibling has been this way towards you. It's not always an older sibling. And I've gotten a lot in my comments about these messages because some of you all is reversal. But remember, it's the energy. It's really the energy. It doesn't matter what the birth order is. But listen, what happens is that this sibling, it boils down to insecurity, lack of self-worth, lack of self-esteem, lack of self-love, and lack of the Holy Spirit. Oh, come on. I counted off 5 things. I listed off 5 things. So it's 1 is insecurity. 2, it is a lack of self-worth. 3 is it is a lack of self-esteem. 4, it is a lack of self-love. And 5, it is a lack of the Holy Spirit. So let's start there. Let's start with number 1. Insecurity. This sibling is very, very insecure. They may have tried to project onto you and tell you that you are insecure and you're so insecure, when really they are the one that is actually the most insecure. Now listen, we all have insecurities. We all have things that we are insecure about. That's inevitable. That is life, baby. But this person wanted to try to project, not wanted to, they actually did. This person projected so much of how they felt about themselves onto you. That's why because they felt so insecure about themselves and who they are and their behaviors and their appearance and their gifts and their talents, because they felt so insecure about themselves, they would basically work overtime to say things to you, to bully you, to try to get you to feel insecure right along with them. Why? What is that famous saying, y'all? Misery loves, exactly. Misery loves company. And because this person is so miserable and so insecure, they want everybody else to feel just as miserable and insecure right along with them. Because seeing you be confident within yourself really bothered them. It bothered them because they're like, why is it that you get to be confident while I'm still so insecure? Why you and not me? And that's when this person started competing with you. And they made it seem as if it was this huge competition between the two of you. And if this sibling would have spent more time competing with themselves, with the person staring at them back in the mirror, instead of competing with another person, they would be further along. Because the thing is, baby, you weren't even competing with this sibling. They were always competing with you. They were in a competition with you that you weren't even a part of, because you weren't even trying to compete with them. You were just trying to live your life and be you when they were trying to be better than you. They were trying to be better than you, trying to outshine you when they should have instead tried to be a better version of themselves, tried to outshine the version of themselves that they were yesterday and yesteryear. They spent so much time competing with you that they lacked in their own self-development. But that's on them. That is on them. It is not on you. Number 2, they lack in self-worth. They don't feel good about themselves. They feel very low about themselves. Like I said earlier, they are very miserable. They don't love themselves. They don't like themselves. They are disgusted with themselves. They hate themselves. And because they had such low self-worth, to see you have self-worth within yourself triggered them. It bothered them. They were envious of that and envious of you. So now what they're trying to do is they wanted to do everything that they can to sabotage you or to do other things to make you feel bad about yourself, because they wanted you to feel just as low as they felt. They wanted to minimize the threats by making you feel small, by bringing you all the way down to their level. This is a crabs in a barrel mentality. Number 3, they have very low self-esteem. That ties into their low self-worth, but yes, they have very low self-esteem. They don't find themselves to be confident or attractive. You see, they could not validate themselves internally. They really relied on external validation. And when they were getting external validation and getting attention, it did boost their self-esteem. But when they stopped getting that attention, when they weren't getting as much accolades and, compliments from other people, then, of course, their self-esteem went low right along with them, because they could not internally validate themselves. They couldn't tell themselves, good job, I'm proud of you, this is what I love about you, this is what I like about you. They never looked at themselves in that way. They never self-reflected into looking in themselves and look in the mirror to find the good qualities about themselves. They couldn't find any. And then they look at you. You know your gifts. You know what you're good at. You know the things that you love about yourself. And this person would do so many things where they would try to offer you advice or try to help you or try to, uplift you. Like, they would see you kind of dealing with your depression, or maybe you were just, for a lot of you are undiagnosed autistic, and sometimes you will be just completely burnt out and in one of your nonverbal moments where you just didn't want nobody to be bothering you. You don't want to be bothered with nobody, and this person would take it personal, like you were being shitty towards them, when you're like, girl or boy, this ain't got shit to do with you. I just don't want to know why you talk to me right now. Leave me alone. They couldn't leave you be. They took it personal when you wanted to stay to yourself, because their low self-esteem felt that everything was a personal fucking attack. And they may have tried to attempt to give you advice or try to uplift you or try to say, but look, you have this, you have this. It was always external things. It wasn't nothing internal. They always tried to charm away your bad mood. And it's like they thought they were coming from a good place, but it really wasn't. It was a projection of the self-talk that they had. They weren't gentle. They weren't nurturing. They weren't kind. They weren't caring. They were nasty. They were negative. Even when they were trying to uplift you, they were nasty and negative. So you kind of just get the fuck out of my face, bro. I don't want you. I don't like you. Get out of my face. Leave me alone. It's some of the things that you probably really want to say to them. And number 4, they lack in self-love. Because they don't love themselves, they could not love other people. The way that they loved you was a reflection of how they loved themselves. And you did not feel no love from them. That's because they don't even love themselves. Them bitches hate themselves. They hate themselves with a burning fucking passion. So because they hate themselves, they hated you. It was a reflection of what was in their own heart. They could not give you what they did not have. And if all they had was hatred in their heart, that's all they gave. It wasn't personal to you, baby. You ain't do nothing to them. It was their own insecurities that they constantly projected onto you. Now, some of you actually may resemble each other a little bit. Like maybe people may have compared the two and say you all look alike, and they may have thought that you were the more attractive one. So they really saw you as competition. But that's for a select few. Lastly, they lacked in their relationship with God. They didn't have a real legitimate relationship with God. They didn't really pray. They didn't really talk to God. They didn't really spend time with God and try to better their relationship with God and better their relationship with themselves. They did not. So because they lacked the Holy Spirit within them, that is exactly why them demons kept jumping in their body and kept attacking you. They were already a low vibrational person, and that's what allowed them to be susceptible for these demonic influences and